Hello and welcome. Let's begin with our virtual housekeeping. Mute your mic when you're not speaking. Please have your video turned on at all times. If you want to be anonymous and keep your video off, you're more than welcome to do so. Please use your headset if possible, especially if you're in a crowded and noisy area. To ask a question, use raise hand button. Usually you will find this button on your Zoom control bar. Alternatively, you can use the chat box and ask your question as well. For high resolution of this video stream on Zoom, use the switch to shared content button on top left of your screen. With the experience that we had with Zoom, the legibility of text presented in the presentation is much clearer on a screen size of 12 inch or above. So we will appreciate to use, if you use the 12 inch or above screen size for a legible text which you would be able to read through. Hello and welcome to you all. My name is Vishal and this is our session number 13 for APMP, which is the Association for Proposal Management Professionals, people who are involved in the bid industry, or in simply put in quotation industry. They're doing quotations for their employer, and they are the primary focus area of this APMP, and it's an association for them. If you're doing bids for the tender, maybe open tender, maybe closed tender, this is the industry for you, and this is APMP is the one which actually has certain set of guidelines, and the association actually lives by those guidelines, and of course are being taught, and there are certifications for them. Your host, that is me, I'm already certified for the foundation, and we have been involved in doing the bid management for nearly more than 14 years now. So irrespective of your domain, you can always, even if you are in, when I say domain, I'm talking about if it's a software industry, your bidding cycle more or less is the same. It's only that the domain knowledge of the pricing part might be a bit different, but the challenges more or less are the same. It's similar to what you do in projects. If you're doing software projects, there might be software related challenges as compared to a construction project, but the overall domain, the overall concept and the structure of how things in a waterfall way go from one stage to another and to another one. So welcome to you all. Congratulations, you took time today for your personal development. So we are at session number 13. Up until now we are at the focus on the customer knowledge area. We are reading APMP body of knowledge, and this is one of the reference book for your foundation exam. And you have to sit for the exam. It's a 70 mark. You have to pick score, I think 55 or 56, 60% and more to get the certification. Now I forgot if what is the percentage. If you want, I can still find it out for you. I've already given the exam, so I'm certified. I'm not going back to look at that. Perhaps it's 50 to 55, perhaps. So you can always give your exam on that. We are developing, we are at the session wherein we have already covered the customer relation management systems. We saw how you can create a customer relation. Now most of this is the business is run on relations, and of course on emotions as well. If an organization, all said and done, all kind of technical clarifications you have, technical advancement you have, at the end of the day, if the customer, your buyer, feels connected to you, okay, they will be more than happy to actually trade with you, okay. And they will justify within their organization, even if you're a bit pricey, okay, they will justify within their organization in your name. So that's where it comes, the customer relation management system comes in place. It's not the software that I'm talking about, I'm talking about the way the customer relation is built up. And that is what we saw in our previous sessions as well, and that is how we studied. Okay, I'm just looking away from the screen on for my LinkedIn and as well as the Facebook stream and people on Zoom as well. So now there is a term in the customer relation management we did not actually cover up last time, but I wanted to do it this time, and it's called elevator pitch. At times it's called elevator speech as well. Now what is the concept is that in a high-rise building, let's say you got an opportunity, you're not able to get an opportunity as a business development or as a sales guy, because as far as the builder management is concerned, bid does not start from the day RFP has been released, okay, the request for proposal. The bid starts from the day the client starts thinking about that project. The client is starting to arrange for that project, arrange finances for that project. So as a sales guy or a business development guy, this falls in the business development domain, they would be required to understand the requirement of the client. And at times, if they are, because it's not a project as of now, the decision makers or in your client office may not be interested to meet you. So that is where this term was coined in, where it says elevator speech. So what it means is that it's more or less like a speech, a very short, concise information that you would be giving to your client when he is going to his office. Let's say he's at the 11th floor, his office is 11th floor. You get into the elevator along with him, and he cannot run away from you. He or she needs to listen you out and hear you out what you want to say, and by the time you reach the 11th floor, you are able to convey the message and tell you about your company, what your company can do. So, and that's this definition over here, and many business development professionals that do it to just put a word to the prospective client that they have this product with them, and I will read out the definition in a sophisticated way. When I say sophisticated way, it means what I've explained to you was the practical way how people have been doing it, but later on it came into the body of knowledge, and this is how they defined it, and I will read that for you. A concise set of reasons a customer should choose your organization's offer. So even if you have done an offer or you have not done an offer, but it's a concise reason. A variety of people, including project managers, sales representatives, and executives, use elevator speeches to get their points across quickly to customers. Okay, and the elevator speech may be presented in oral, written, and video formats. So here you go. I mean, it's usually face to face. If you look face to, what it says is, in other words, is that you will not be having more than 10 or 15 seconds, or perhaps 1 minute, but you need to convey the message. Okay, you need to orient the client to your solution and your sales pitch. Okay. One of the tools for, I think we saw this last time, one of the tools about the focus on customer is your contact plan, and we saw the example also. I'm sorry we don't have it in this session, but next is the developing a business case. Now look at these people on your right hand side. They are actually trying to put some numbers across and find out that is this they're trying to build a business case, in other words. And let me read out the definition for you. An internal documented argument for bidding on a particular opportunity. The business case typically focuses on the financial aspects of the bid. The same term may also be applied to a document or proposal section that is aimed at providing the customer with the financial justification for making the purchase. Okay, so it's a business case. If you are the client, if you are the seller, okay, then you're putting up a business case within your organization why you should bid for this, project, or why you should be bid for this tender. Whereas if you are the purchaser who has released a tender document, the business case is the reason why you're putting up a bid altogether and releasing out to the market. Okay, so these nice people on the right hand side of your screen, you need to look at on what side of the table they are. If they are from the seller point of view, okay, so the seller is the one who needs to bid for it, okay, and he's telling his decision makers within his organization or her organization that why we should be bidding it, this tender. And it has been said, if you have a probability, we saw that in our previous slides as well, if we have a probability of 90% of win when you do a bid no bid decision, at that time you should go for a bid. If it's more than 90%, if it's less than that, you might want to just leave it out. Okay, but at times in a bid no bid decision, the organization takes an executive call. Since they want to align themselves, if you remember in a business development life cycle, we start from an unknown position, as we saw in our session number 1, 2, and 3 perhaps. We start from an unknown position and we build ourselves into a position wherein we are in a known position and a preferred position. So while an organization might want to align themselves and tell in the whole world that, hey guys, we can do this thing as well, so they might want to go ahead and take some chances, even if the win probability is less than 90%, they will still go ahead and do it. Okay, so that's one side of it, seller side of it. Now the purchaser side of it. Now you are, let's say, a procurement department guy, and you are having a lot of problems with your procurement, tracking n number of manufacturers, tracking their delivery dates, tracking custom clearance, tracking n number of taxes that has to be paid throughout the logistics cycle, and you want to put up a case to your management that we need a software. Okay, you go to your management and you say, these are the XYZ reasons, okay, that we would need a software perhaps that can automate all these requirements for us, and we become a system driven organization rather than a person dependent organization, wherein the procurement guy is holding the whole department on a ransom because he has everything in his mind. But people, there's no transparency. I'm just saying, I'm not correlating with any organization. I'm just saying that these kind of things can happen. This is a fictitious, a fictitious scenario that we are thinking about. And your organization says, okay, fine, go ahead, let's buy this software. So you put up an RFP outside. Now, before you go for this RFP outside to the outer world, to the organizations who develop a software, you put up a business case within your organization as a purchaser that these are the reasons I wanted this software, and these are the reasons I see these are the problems that I foresee would be taken care of. Okay, but as all said and done, we all know that you try to fix one problem, there will be another problem coming in. The very next day, if you have that software on board, people will be asking who's going to enter these data. So let's go back to our business case only. So as far as the business case, it's on the both sides of the table. who is purchasing and who is selling, both of them has to make a business case. Okay, so we go to our so business case. What is a business case? A business case should provide a formal summary of all the value propositions. Okay, prepare the business case, know when to use a business case, and manage the business case. So these are these key steps. I just saw my the time. So what we are going to do is we will continue this in our next session. This session is only for 15 minutes. So we are done for today. If you have any questions, you might want to chime in on your people on Zoom. They can chime in on. They can type it into the chat box, and people who are on LinkedIn or YouTube or Facebook, you are more than welcome to type in your questions over there. But as far as today is concerned, in our next session we will see how you should develop a business case. We will see executive summary, which is very important, and usually you will get a question on this as well in your exam, of at least the foundation exam. You will get the question that when you should start for the start doing your executive summary. And that's a very important document, and a lot has been said about the executive summary as far as the APMP is concerned. Okay, with that we come to the end of our session today. You have been a very awesome audience, people on Zoom, LinkedIn and Facebook. Thank you for joining in today. Hope you were able to enhance your knowledge and you are a more informed professional. Up until next time, same time next week, take care and keep learning. Goodbye.